All right. Hi, guys. This is Brooke Livesey presenting the position of Member Experience Manager of Physique Fitness. And I met with Landon and Brandon about a month ago, so I'll give you a quick rundown on what we went over in that meeting. So, as we grow, we've found quick fixes for solutions within the member experience. It is time to intervene escalations, look for patterns, and develop team building initiatives that reflect the values that Physique Fitness desires to uphold. While managers and team leads have done a satisfactory job of intercepting member issues thus far, our fast growth has made the prioritization of member concerns ineffective. In order to adequately address these concerns, we are in need of a dedicated specialist who can analyze retention rates, streamline the complaint process, and translate all resulting data into applicable training materials and growth strategies. So, the mission statement of the Member Experience Manager is to ensure company wide member success. Seems obvious, but it is so essential. It's time to turn our eyes to the member. We have done an excellent job of building this community and culture, but our growth will make it increasingly more difficult to provide a consistent member experience across the board. The name of the game is quality control, so we can continue to spread our reach and help people change their lives. Also, reach that gold standard of customer service. But we'll cut right to it. What are the roles and the responsibilities the member experience manager will take on? Acquisition and onboarding. I am most excited about creating an onboarding program. I believe it will be the most foolproof way to ensure our members get a warm welcome to our community and really get them involved from day one. And although I've toyed with many different options, I keep coming back to the passport idea from our preview night in Albany, primarily because it was so successful. And the good thing about an onboarding program is we can really do trials of it at different locations or even at the same location, and then try different components to the actual passport program, but then also different rewards to see what the member best responds to. But before we can even implement an onboarding program, we need targeted ad strategies. So the member experience manager will act as the voice of members in prospective areas that we might be moving to. So the ad strategies for a place like Corvallis or Eugene might be very different from a place like West Lynn. The ad strategy in Corvallis might be a Snapchat filter that college kids might respond to, as opposed to West Lynn that print ad, and a newsletter might work best. So just really being that voice of prospective members as well. And creating new in-app challenges and just utilizing our app a little more often in general. I know that we're in the works of creating a new one, but in the meantime, these challenges are just a great way to get people involved. It's simple, and we're lucky to be in an industry full of ambitious, competitive customers that we should really bank on it, not only to get more people into the gym to benefit our business, but to create a sense of community and belonging from the get-go. And then also just contacting leads, following those leads, and getting them back in the gym, and getting them involved. But after our members are involved, the member experience manager will provide a single destination for questions and concerns. So currently we have a pretty scattered process for member submission of concerns, questions, and praise, which works sufficiently for a smaller operation. But for a company of 4 locations, soon to be 6 plus, we need to not only streamline for organization's sake, but in order to effectively apply our members' feedback to staff training. And not only that, but to have one person who can really connect the dots between different locations and see if there's quick fixes that can be made that are common concerns of members, or even big picture changes that need to be made within the member experience. So boom, my email and my cell phone number on a card at each and every location, just to be that single destination. People can reach out. There can be a face of the member experience manager, and just really feel heard by that singular person. And creating that formal process to escalate member issues. So essentially, they contact me, I resolve the issue, and then we can log that into a central database so we can really just keep track of member issues and trends. Suggestion boxes. We've had a lot of demand for that at Albany. I don't know about the other locations, but I think it's a familiar way for people to feel comfortable with submitting their suggestions. I know it's kind of a dated technology, but it really is a cheap, easy way for us to be more involved with our members, and even taking it a step further and having a email space on the suggestion submission where I can contact them and say, thank you so much for your suggestion. Would you mind participating in a quick survey? And just really keeping that feedback coming to us. And then also the questions and concerns submission form on our website that will connect directly to my email. I know that it's currently info@physiquefitness.com. Landon expressed a little bit of an annoyance with handling that aspect. So I would gladly take that off your shoulders, Landon, and be that way that people can reach out on the website under a customer service tab and just really be able to connect with me through that. So ongoing feedback and engagement. Keeping up that feedback with entrance, active, and exit surveys is just a really good way to get that feedback from our members, and kind of the most obvious, most utilized way in business thus far. But I have been doing kind of a case study on a member at Physique Albany. She joined about a month ago, middle-aged, ex-military, and looking at her, you would never realize that she has never stepped foot in a gym in her life. She was absolutely terrified, but we were slow enough that I had the ability to take her around, get her introduced to every single thing, got her signed up for a QFit membership, got her heart rate monitor set up, downloaded her app, got her signed up for her first QFit class, got her signed up for a consultation with Josh, and really just gave her the full treatment, made her feel a lot more comfortable, and asked her if she would be willing to kind of be my case study, and I could follow her and survey her along the way and kind of see how her progress is going and how we can better the member experience in the long run. I also asked her if onboarding program would be something that she'd be interested in. She said absolutely. So I've been keeping track of her over the past month, and she, after her consult, hired a personal trainer, and she's gotten involved with Kids Club. So here we have the ideal member, somebody who is at the top tier membership, is involved in the gym in every single way that she possibly can be. So I really want to make all of our members a Cassie member. I want to figure out, crack the code, and decide the best way that we can get each member involved, whether it be having that extra time to take a new frightened member around the gym, or, keeping track of their progress with surveys. I think is just a really good option, a really good way to keep tabs on our members. In-app feedback is another thing we can do. People really go crazy for that point system and use their apps pretty frequently. And I think we can get incentivized surveys. So in the point program, we can really have 15 points for filling out a survey, get that feedback pretty easily from the people who are involved with that program. But then also utilizing push notifications. When people are leaving the gym, we can do location sensing, and, they'll get a push notification to their phone saying, how was your workout today? Rated on a scale from 1 to 10, etc. Keeping an eye on industry trends and demands. We are an industry that is heavily trend-based, so I will be able to let you know what the demand from our members are. So if multiple members are saying, I'd really like it if you guys had a bar studio or, I don't know, racquetball. But then we see that nobody's using the spin studio. Then I'd be able to say, hey, look, we're getting a lot of demand for this. We're not getting a lot of heavy traffic in the spin studio. Maybe this is something we can kind of work towards and entertain. And in that same vein, just continued reports from each location. So I would be able to travel to all 4 locations and just give an extensive report to Brandon, Landon, anybody else involved, and just kind of provide you with a monthly summary highlighting any notable successes or areas for improvement, and just keep you updated with what both the members and our team members are saying about the member experience. Also providing face-to-face resolutions, something that we don't do very often unless it happens to be one of our staff members that is able to talk down a disgruntled member. But being able to do that at all locations. So I would plan to be at all locations on a weekly basis, just kind of being a friendly face to members and staff and being heavily involved in the member experience as well as the staff experience. And being able to open my schedule to meetings with members, whether it be a high risk member. So I define a high risk member as someone who seems regularly disgruntled, has tried to cancel, and we roped them back somehow, or complained to a management once or twice, etc. It will be more defined as this position goes on, but maybe we can identify this through data track and find a way to identify these members, but really personally connect with them, contact them, offer a face-to-face resolution, sit down with them, and really figure out the best solution to their problem and let them know that they're a valued member of our community, and just try and smooth over any kind of issues that could arise in the future. But also frozen members. I think this is something that we have neglected. Frozen members are at high risk of churn because they've gone a certain length of time without this service. So it's not ridiculous for them to imagine their lives without it. So reaching out to a member that's about to come off a freeze, not only to notify them that they're coming off of that freeze, but see if they would like to get involved with the new 2020 class. Or did you know we have a new recovery room at South? And basically give them the feeling of community before they even step foot back into the gym. But then last and certainly not least, and one of the most important roles of this position is customer service team training. So I had to do the little connection here. Sweat, sell with ease all the time. Push, provide upstanding service happily. And burn, be undeniably resourceful now. So pretty cheesy, but I had to make the connection. No, but essentially in my first 30 days, like I mentioned earlier, I would really like to focus on observing our 4 different locations, noting the differences, the likenesses, what's working, where we have opportunities for improvement, etc. I think being a very important part of this role is not only being able to analyze and affect the member experience, but to apply that knowledge to our staff training and continued customer service education. I would love to initiate focus groups with employees and see what the commonalities between their collective experiences with customer service at their respective clubs are, and just find the best way to implement new customer service, or for lack of a better term, I guess, sales techniques at our locations, whether it be with leads or new hires or a random assortment of employees. Landon and Brandon and I just discussed this, that I believe it's really important to make each and every staff member feel special and heard, because it's very easy to feel like a number. I had the complete fortunate opportunity to be a part of the initial Albany crew And we got intensive training with Brandon and Landon, and that completely changed my perspective on being a staff member at Physique. I mean, I really felt like we were family. We had moments where we opened up to each other and really just felt like a necessary cog in the machine. And I think that that feeling naturally fades over time with any job, but just trying to crack the code and figure out how we can make each and every one of our staff members feel as valued as they are, that is going to not only benefit them and their work ethic and our company overall, but it's going to benefit our members, and it's just going to be better for the whole experience all around. Finding out their why they're here, why they are with Physique, what they see their future at Physique to be, and just what their goals are in general. But this could also, I mean, the member experience manager can also play an important role in introducing new programs, equipment, classes to staff at all the clubs and finding the best way to phrase a description. So just having, once again, that consistent baseline across the board is what we're aiming for. So we can ensure that one member can walk into Kaiser Physique and then again walk into Albany Physique and hardly notice a difference in terms of staff training and customer service. But that is it. Obviously, this is kind of a one-way street here, so questions and comments would be greatly appreciated. If you want to email me, Brooke, BC Livesey, so BCLIVEZEY at gmail.com. Any of the burning questions you might have about this position, I would love to answer them for you. And I look forward to all the possibilities within this position and hope you enjoy the presentation.